this is project number 5, I think, right? Am I counting that correctly? Yeah, project number 5. Now we start into something different. The name of this whole project is Sequences and Series. A sequence is a list of numbers. A series is what you get when you add all those numbers together. A sequence will be a list of numbers with commas between them. A series will be a single answer, right? So, and some of these are pretty cool and fascinating. We went through this, I would say that, wouldn't I? We went through this table. We've got Marie is training for like a 5K kind of thing, right? And she is doing this walking, jogging, running practice thing. Where on day 1 she walks 3 miles, day 2 she walks 5 miles, day 3 she walks 7 miles. She must have a lot of time in her hands and a really good pair of shoes. And we see this pattern continues for the first 6 days, and we have the amounts of 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. And we could keep figuring that out as we went, and life would be great, okay? But what if we wanted to know how much she walked total during those first 6 days? Well, we would just add them together, 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13, and get 48. And the reason that becomes, well, I guess what that means is the sum of those, the series of the first 6 terms, is going to be 48. Now, that was a little bit inconvenient to add those together like that, right? Well, I walk you through a couple of other questions, but let me jump right down to this one right here. Let's say that we have the first 10 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days where she walked 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. And check out this just amazing idea. How much did she walk on the first day? 3. How many did she walk on the last day? 21. What's 3 plus 21? 24. How about the second day? It's 5. The second to the last day is 19. What's 5 plus 19? 24. And we see that they're all paired up perfectly. The sum of each of those pairs is the same. So all we have to do is figure out how many pairs of numbers we have and multiply by the value of each of those pair of numbers, and we can figure out what our sum is. And that's just a really cool idea. Carl Friedrich Gauss came up with this back when he was I don't know, he was in school of some kind, whether it was elementary school or not. He was just smart as can be, bored out of his mind, always causing trouble. The teacher sent him to the back corner of the room and said, hey, why don't you keep yourself busy, add up the first 100 numbers, and when you're done, get back to me. And the idea that the teacher was hoping that this would take him, hours the rest of the day. But Carl Friedrich Gauss recognized 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus all the way up to 98 plus 99 plus 100. Well, that's just 101, 101, 101. And there are clearly 50 pairs of numbers, so 50 times 101 is 50. Came back to his teacher within a minute and said, here's my answer, and then just went off and started causing all kinds of trouble. Again, that was Carl Friedrich Gauss, a brilliant mathematician of his time. So what is the formula for this? Well, the formula ends up being the sum of the first n numbers is going to be n divided by 2. That's so we can figure out how many pairs of numbers there are, times the value of the pair of numbers, which is your first term plus your last term. Or if you don't know your last term, well, then go back to the previous couple of sections and figure out how to get there using either the explicit or the recursive formula for it. We can see that worked out right here. The first was 1 plus the last is 100. That's 101. There were 100 numbers. Divided by 2 is 50. 50 times 101 is that 50. So that's how that process works. And let's see if there's more to it. Yep. So that is it. That's the formula. I don't know if I've got that formula specifically written down, but this is the formula then for the summation of a arithmetic sequence. All right. Geometric sequence is next, a lot more difficult. Stay tuned.